going on, everybody? Man, Micah's back with another video. Back here with a slightly new setup. This light I have right here is not going to be here. I'm gonna actually have a light up there and potentially one right here somewhere, so I can kind of create a new ambiance. I changed where I'm shooting at in my room as well, or in this room. I used to shoot over there, and now I've kind of angled myself into the corner of the room, but I kind of have a little bit more space to play around with. And I have a table sitting up right behind me because I'm going to use this for some more kind of top-down shots. I don't have an official top-down rig yet, but I have a tripod that's good enough to angle whatever camera I'm using down at the products that I want to get those B-roll shots to you guys. So I've had some adjustments, and hopefully you guys will still stick on the journey with some adjustments you'll be seeing with videos throughout. With LumaFusion, I am also able to now record in 4K again. I will see how it handles 4K on the B-roll side of things as well. But this is 4K. I've been doing 1080p. This is me testing whether or not I can do 4K officially. So let's see what happens from here. But enough of that. We are here to talk about Samsung and the Galaxy S22/S23 series. We know that, and if you guys can't tell, my baby got cracked right there finally, right? But thankfully the phone has still been in tip-top tier shape. Otherwise, the screen is still in great shape. I mean, if anything, I could probably use a cloth to clean it. And I've been loving this device because I use it when I'm at home often. I use it at work as my media device because I have the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, and you only get all of Samsung's features with another Samsung Galaxy device. So whether or not I'm using my Z Flip 4, which is currently my daily driver, or my Pixel 7 Pro, which will not be able to utilize a lot of those features with those buds, I just stick to using the S22 Ultra or the Z Flip 4 to gain the most out of my earbuds. And I believe you can use Dolby Atmos soon, maybe One UI 5.1 with the Galaxy Z Flip 4, the Galaxy Z Fold 4, and I believe the S23 series coming out. You'll be able to utilize Dolby Atmos with the earbuds while listening to stuff, which is pretty cool. It seems like it only works in certain moments, but they don't have it running through the buds yet, just out of the physical speakers. But that feature is gonna be a big game changer, I think, to the earbuds. Now to the devices. I've been enjoying this S22 Ultra, of course. I may even drop a separate video, 1 year later review, just to give you guys more of my internal, more in-depth thoughts about this device. But it really got me thinking about the S23 series now that we're a few days away from Galaxy Unpacked. And that question is, should you upgrade? I will say that if you have the Galaxy S22 series, and I almost even want to say if you have the Galaxy S21 series, you don't have to. It's not something you need to go run to the store for. Now, here's why you don't have to upgrade further. Those devices are still being supported by Samsung. You're still getting One UI 5/5.1 and One UI 6, and I believe One UI 7 with the S21 and the S22 series. Shoot, maybe even up to One UI 8 for both of those devices. Samsung has improved and increased their term of support for the Galaxy S21, S22 series as well. So it's not a major deal for you to have to go upgrade your phone because your current phone is doing just fine. And that's kind of where we're at with phones these days, not just on Samsung, all phones for that matter. Maybe with the exception of the Pixel 7 from the 6. Phones have become like cars. We don't have to update them on a yearly basis. We don't even have to update them on a near 2-year basis. And that's because technology has gotten so good. Specifically with the Samsung device, the Ultra's got the 108 megapixel camera. It's got a 5,000 milliamp battery. It's got great software. It's still supported very well. It's a true beast. It feels good in the hands, in my opinion. I like the build of the phone. Do I wish that they could slightly maybe curve the frame of the phone to emulate the S22 Plus or this year the S23 Plus? Yeah, but I also love the look of this phone with these edges, and it doesn't bother me when using the phone. That's something I love, and the S Pen has not let me down. As a matter of fact, sometimes I take this phone with me just so I can use the S Pen. And I use it a lot more now with my tablet So the S22 series, specifically the Ultra, has been a mega beast, and to me is the phone of the year from 2022. Again, I might drop a video about that. Let me know down in the comment section below if you want to hear more thoughts about the S22 Ultra in depth. Why should you upgrade, right? Here's some reasons why you may feel you want to upgrade your phone. The phone's in bad condition, right? I have a crack on the back side, should not affect my trade-in deal because the front screen is fine. If your phone's in bad condition, I can see you want to upgrade so that way you get a better phone and take better care of that. It's been a long time since I've cracked a phone, damaged a phone for that matter, and I'm a little disappointed because I would have otherwise been just fine keeping my S22 Plus, my S22 Ultra, but that's something that is pushing me towards wanting to upgrade to the S23 Ultra. Another reason why is maybe you don't like the color of the phone. If that's a really big deal to you, maybe you rock it naked or nude or bare, caseless, and you care about the color of your phone, maybe you're a little disappointed like I am with the Z Flip 4. And you got the color that you didn't really want after rocking it for some time. Maybe you want to upgrade and get a better color. You'll probably be able to do that with the S23 series. What's another reason you may want to upgrade? Well, maybe you use the cameras. And the camera that you have on your S21, S22 isn't that good, or it's good, but you want better. The S23 Ultra specifically is gonna most likely have the 200 megapixel camera, which will improve low light photography and, you know, give you better clarity, sharpness, probably even higher contrast with already contrasted photos from the Samsung devices with the S23 Ultra. So maybe the camera is also a reason. Maybe, just maybe, another reason is you got the money for it. You have the money to spend on getting another device, so do with it what you will. Get that S23 series phone because you got the cash flow, right? I'm trying to think of another reason because it escaped me as soon as I started talking about it. But there are some reasons why you could upgrade. You have an older phone, maybe an S20 series. And I would even argue that you could probably keep your S20 series, but I wouldn't be mad if you wanted to upgrade out of the S20 series to even the S21, 22, or the S23 Ultra. I wouldn't be mad at you. But if you had an older phone, maybe you haven't upgraded your phone period in 2 to 3 years or more than that, go ahead and upgrade to the S23 series. I think it's a good idea. Maybe, here's another kicker. This is something that I'm also interested in outside of the phone being in bad condition. Is of course the cameras, is of course the software, is of course the color, even though I love this burgundy color. Maybe you're interested in feeling Samsung's presence within the processor. I never got to experience an Exynos-based Samsung Galaxy device, and it almost seems like they were really first to be having their own silicon for their devices before Apple jumped on board, and then, you know, now Google's on board. And Samsung is now going to have more control, I guess, more customization with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor that is going into the S23 series, specifically all three devices. I thought it was just Ultra for a second, but no, all three devices are getting a specially made chip manufactured or produced by Samsung through Snapdragon. So maybe you want to feel that presence of what Samsung wants to do with their phones, much like we've got the experience with the Google Pixel 7 series, specifically the 6 and 6 Pro, 7 and 7 Pro. Like we've got the experience with Apple and their A chips. Now we have that opportunity again, kind of sort of here in the Western market of the United States, to experience Samsung's prowess when it comes to the CPU. Maybe we want to see what that's going to feel like now that that's a big game changer from so to speak, when it comes to technology, having all your stuff in-house, right? A lot of people are eliminating Intel, eliminating in ways Snapdragon, and trying to facilitate their own technologies to run their own devices. Samsung's gonna get to play with that again with the 8 Gen 2. It's like a mobile platform for something like that. That's something that I'm also very interested in. Outside of those things, there really isn't any other reason to upgrade, and for me, it probably still isn't as enough justification to upgrade, but those are things that are weighing on my decision to upgrade. In terms of the S23 and the S23 Plus, they're getting bigger batteries over the S22 and S22 Plus. Not major changes, but like I think 100 to 200 milliamps more for the devices for the S23 over the S22. Still solid in the Plus series, of course. Still solid upgrade. It's something we want to see, and of course we've seen the battery life on these Samsung devices improve tremendously. I've had no problem with this device. Every here and there, if there's an update that drops, maybe like within that first 3-day period, one of those days is bad battery life, but it instantly recovers. For example, I think I had a Google Play System update within the last 3 days on this phone. I took the phone with me to work yesterday. I'm always running my media off of it, such as like YouTube, especially downloaded content from YouTube because I use YouTube Premium. And then I'll stream from time to time, but I had a SIM card in it, a secondary SIM card in it, so it's running, mobile connectivity as well. And my phone drained crazy fast. I was really surprised that I lost all my battery life. Now, I did go to work with 10%, around 90%, around 8 o'clock. And my phone would have been dead by like 2:30, 3 o'clock. That was probably one of the most crazy fluke days I've ever seen with a Samsung Galaxy device. My battery life did not last that well. But then yesterday, even though I wasn't on it as much, my phone lasted all day. I put this phone on the charger from 6:30, getting up between 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, took it off the charger. I didn't put it back on the charger till like 11:30 the next day, or later on that day. So that's a lot of time, 16, 17, 18 hours, and I had like 27% left, 20 to 27% left battery life. So that just shows you how solid battery life is. And if you're running off of hotspot, basically Wi-Fi, if you're only going Wi-Fi with no SIM in the device, the battery life lasts that much longer. So Samsung has really done a great job of battery life with their devices, and that is only expected to improve with the S23 series and One UI 5.1. When we're talking about software, that's where Samsung has continued to make improvements year over year, update over update, giving all of us exactly what we want. More simplified software without cutting back on features, and then finding ways to implement good or better features via Good Lock and Good Guardians, which then roll over to and get baked into the official software. And when I tell you they got great software customization for your device via those two apps, along with the standard feature set that you get within settings, it's so amazing what you can do with the Samsung device. No Samsung device has to look the same if you put some effort into customization. And I think that's something we should award and appreciate from Samsung. As much as I love Google software and how Google's apps play so well on Google's platform, there's not as much customization on the more standard look or pixel look of Android. And then when you consider other manufacturers that still exist, there's a little too much kiddiness or not enough Google Play presence within their software, within their devices, to really enjoy the UI experience. So Samsung is king when it comes to that, and I think that One UI 5.1 is introducing a few subtle things that's going to be worth our while using their devices. So that's just what I wanted to talk about real quick when it comes to the S23 series and whether or not you should upgrade. If you have a most recent device and it's in great shape, there's no need for you to have to go out there and upgrade. Only upgrade if you got the money for it. Only upgrade if there's something wrong with your phone. If you just if you're very unhappy with your phone, those are reasons why to upgrade. If you've had your phone for a while, few years at least, regardless of what brand it is, and you want to upgrade to a Samsung device and it's the S23 series, I can see that being a reason that you want to upgrade. But outside of that, you can keep this device and be straight. Even I technically can keep my S22 Ultra and keep it if, the trade-in deal isn't that solid, or in my case, when I use T-Mobile as a backup, their trade-in deal also isn't as solid. So it just depends from that perspective. I will let you guys know that I think I will put my effort forward to getting the Z Fold 5 this year and rocking out with the Z Fold 5 and the Z Flip 5 for that matter. Depending on if there's any changes with the size and shape design of the flip technology for the flip specifically. But the Z Fold 5 I definitely may end up going for this year, because I was watching Mr. Mobile and he says he really only rocks out with 3 phones: the Fold, the Flip, and the phone he's testing or reviewing. And I feel very much so the same way in that vein. I got the Ultra, I got the Z Flip 4, and I got the Pixel 7 Pro, in which I would be very happy to sell my Pixel 7 Pro for a good chunk of change to put towards, if not the S23 Ultra, just in general, to free my cash flow up to be ready to buy the Fold down later in the fall. So I like that approach because I really like the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, and with LumaFusion, I have found so much more delight in my workflow that it's really revitalized my use and my experience with Samsung devices in general because of the ecosystem that's created and being able to quick share and drop things between my Samsung devices with no problems. So that is more or less the reason why it's very easy for me to dive more deep into Samsung's ecosystem. And that's probably why it's easy for me to also want to upgrade, because at the end of the day, the other reason I have to upgrade to the next device is to bring you my thoughts. And tell you the truth, I'm thinking about bringing my podcast back, where having these talking points can just be extended via a podcast, and I go that route to do that, as opposed to doing a lot of just random footage. I can do in-depth dives or discussions about the device via a podcast. So I could bring season 2 back, or bring season 2 of my Versatile After Hours podcast and utilize it that way. If you guys are interested, just let me know down in the comment section below. But let me know also down there, are you interested? Are you thinking about buying an S23 series device? And if you're not, also let me know why you're not interested in buying one. The comment section's open for discussion. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that we know my videos. So I would sit back, relax, see what's cracking. But your man Micah sign out to the next video. Wait for it.